When it comes to Sonic the Hedgehog, he usually has his ups and downs for being the speedy mascot of Sega. What I mean is that he started out great in his debut in the 90s, but when our beloved Blue Hero finally made his jump into the world of 3D gaming, he somehow entered a dark age where his games would usually just be bad or just meh. But then in 2010, the Blue Blur finally got his act together near the end of the 7th generation of video games. And then he entered another dark age when he jumped into the 8th generation. What's going on here? Now you might be wondering, where are you going with this? Simple. In one of Sonic's good games, Sonic Colors, there were some gameplay elements that made their debut here and might become a staple in many more Sonic games to come. I think you all know where I'm going with this. The even more annoying I'm only kidding, it's the Wisps. These alien things are basically the Mario power-ups of Sonic the Hedgehog. They can easily help you grab some hidden star rings, red star rings, that you normally can't get otherwise, and help you through some sticky situations on your way to the goal. So for my first countdown ever, I'm going to be doing my top 7 favorite Sonic Colors Wii Wisps. Now before we begin, we need to go over the most upsetting part of any list ever, the rules. First of all, I am only looking at the Wisps that I use in the Wii version of the game. That means no Wisp gameplay from the DS version, because even though I played the DS version, I'm sad to say that I don't have it with me anymore. Secondly, no white Wisps. Why? Because their only purpose is giving Sonic extra speed boost, which has became a staple in Sonic games since Sonic Heroes. Third, no Wisps from any other Sonic game, because I haven't played Sonic Generations because I don't have an Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3. And even though I do have a Nintendo 3DS, I don't have that version either. The same thing goes for Sonic Lost World, because I haven't played either version of the game, and because of the negative reception that the game received, I don't think I will anytime soon. And finally, there will be spoilers for this game, both in story and gameplay. So if you haven't played Sonic Colors, you better leave now. And with that out of the way, let's do this! Number 7! Yeah, I said it. The purple Wisp is my least favorite Wisp in the game. Now explaining why this is the only Wisp in the Wii version of the game to have a monstrous face is as easy as covering the game's story. In Sonic Colors, Dr. Eggman has somehow hatched a new plan for world domination. He built an orbital space elevator that leads to the game's setting, an interstellar amusement park that may look friendly, but it's actually a mind control cannon that will enslave the entire Earth for the purpose of having the planet be the crown jewel of his theme park, as Eggman claims it to be the best amusement park in the entire universe. What's worse is that he's trying to trick everyone that he built this amusement park after developing a sense of remorse for his past offenses, and that it's not an evil plot of anything in any way, shape, or form. Sonic doesn't believe Eggman at all and knows that whenever he's up to something, it's not good. Because of this, Sonic and Tails must sneak into Eggman's theme park to find out what's up. The amusement park has 5 tractor beams that are used to have 5 of the planets in the galaxy, one tractor beam for each planet, be part of his theme park. The way the tractor beams connect with the planets is with 5 generators in the game. Sonic must go through the 5 planets to destroy all the generators and free the planets. He will get help from Tails with his translator that allows only him to understand what the aliens are saying in order to get information on what's going on in the game. I mean, yeah, Tails mainly talks to a white wisp named Yacker, but yeah. Later on in the game, our heroes found out that Dr. Eggman is using the Wisp's Hyper Go-On energy to power up his mind control cannon in order to accomplish his plan. Man, you can tell that Eggman is not being a little nice to our new friends, huh? But it gets even worse. When Sonic and Tails enter the asteroid coaster, they discover that when the Wisps hyper-go on energy or drain, they become these negative wisps called Nega Wisps that work for Eggman. The purple wisp is one of those wisps. Looks like Sonic and Tails have to change the aliens from bad back to good, huh? Okay, now that I'm finally finished rambling on about this story for now, let's get to this purple frenzy. And oh boy, you first encounter this wisp in the first act of the asteroid coaster, and you won't be using it that much in the game. In the 2D sections of the game, you're being like Pac-Man, chomping away at things while growing larger and slower until time runs out. While you're at it, you'll be sucking some things towards you like a black hole. The 3D sections are pretty much the same, except the controls in those sections have a mind of their own! Seriously, go play the game to understand what I mean. Please. Number 6! Okay, now that the negative wisps are out of the way, let's get into the positive wisps here, shall we? Coming up at number 6, we have the most puzzling alien in the history of mankind! The Blue Cube. You'll first see those thingies in the first act of the Starlight Carnival. And if you think about it, the developers of Sonic Team must have been watching Tron before making this world. When you get the blue wisp, you can change the blue rings scattered around the level into blue blocks to walk on, and vice versa. It's also accompanied with a pretty catchy music piece. Seriously, go listen to this piece if you don't believe me. You will be tapping to the rhythm of the beat, even though I highly recommend you don't do it near me, even when you're at school. Just like the Purple Frenzy, you won't be using the Blue Cube that much, because using this thing is like doing an upgraded and strengthened version of the ground pound move. Oh, and you might fall to your death if you do it at a bottomless pit. Oh, come on! Oh, and one more thing. Does the blue wisp remind you of Cubot because they're both cubes? Well, I think it does remind me of him, except Cubot is yellow and not blue. And speaking of yellow, number 5! When I was typing the script of this countdown, the next entry of this list was originally going to be number 4. But after thinking about it for a little bit, I had no other choice but to shove it back one entry to number 5, which is where we are now. So let's move on. At number 5, we have the yellow drill. You will first use this alien in the first act of the Sweet Mountain. And you can definitely tell right off the bat that the developers must have been really hungry when coming up with another planet to put in the game. Anyways, when you get the wisp, you can burrow underground to discover some secrets and hidden goodies that you normally can't get to otherwise. You can even take one-way pipes to either get somewhere quicker or get to places that nothing else, including the drill itself, can help you get to on your own. Out of all the wisps in the game, the yellow drill is probably the only one that is used differently later on in your adventure. You'll see the yellow drill again in the first act of the aquarium park, where instead of digging into the ground, you now zoom through the gorgeous underwater sections of the game like a torpedo. However, it's only number 5 because there is a time limit to this wisp, which means that if you run out of digging time in the underground sections of the game without getting out, you will lose a life. Oh, and there's also the fact that if you touch an enemy with the yellow drill, there's a good chance that you will lose all of your rings for being unlucky. But the digging still gets the job done. Number 4! When I was typing the script for this video, the next wisp on the list was originally going to be number 5, which means that entries 5 and 4 were flip-flopped after some thinking of the positionings. That means that this alien known as the Cyan Laser was supposed to be number 5. Oh well. You'll first encounter this wisp in the third act of the Tropical Resort, right after you saw a cutscene of Sonic saving a white wisp and a cyan wisp from 2 of Dr. Eggman's servants, named Orbot and Cubot. When he saved the aliens, the cyan wisp gave Sonic his first color power, which is the Cyan Laser. Anyways, when you get the wisp, you can use it to bounce off of mirrors and warp yourself into one cable and out the other, both allowing you to discover some secret paths. You can even plow right through enemies like no tomorrow. Trust me when I say this, but the speed of the laser is like the speed of light in my personal theory. And before we move on, for those who don't know what a cyan color is, it's a greenish blue color that matches the color of the wisp you're looking at right now. Number 3! 3, 2, 1, blast off for the orange rocket! Even though the altitude is nowhere near as high as an actual rocket. You'll first meet this wisp in the third act of the Sweet Mountain, where you shoot straight up in the air at the speed of fireworks, and then you'll glide back down to the floor, which can allow you to land on high areas that you normally can't reach on your own. Okay, seriously, how can Sonic glide like that? I mean, is he ignoring the laws of gravity or something? Well, it looks like that logic does not exist in this game, so it looks like that you can do whatever you want! However, it's only number 3 because if it touches the ceiling, it will cancel the transformation, and instead of gliding, you will either fall to the ground or to your doom. Oh, and you'll lose all your rings if it hits a hazard, but other than that, good luck on your journey to the moon. You'll need it. Number 2! And now, prepare to get a flu shot because the pink spikes is many shots in one, and for good reasons. You'll first see these balls of danger in the first act of Planet Wisp. And as you can tell by the name of the planet, that this is the home of our alien friends and where the story of the game came from. Since the planet hasn't been converted into a theme park attraction yet, it's still under construction, which means that our 2 furry friends must stop the evil construction before it's complete and save Planet Wisp. Did you know that Planet Wisp was created by the progenitor of the entire Wisp race known as Mother Wisp, who was also the creator of the Wisp race as well? I know, shocking, right? In the Nintendo DS version of Sonic Colors, she was a secret boss known as Nega Mother Wisp because Dr. Eggman captured her and was transformed that way until the Mother Wisp was changed back to normal with the help of Super Sonic and the power of the Chaos Emeralds. Anyways, getting the pink wisp allows you to run along walls and ceilings, do a double jump like always, do a homing attack as per usual, and somehow do the spin dash, since Sonic doesn't have the spin dash for his natural moveset. Though I can't understand why, since the spin dash is a classic move that many Sonic fans love. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed your flu shots because the pink spice is an awesome wisp to use from beginning to end, even though it's only number 2. Okay, now before we find out what my favorite Sonic Colors Wii Wisp of all time is, in case you forgot some of the previous entries on this list, or you just skipped to the end to find out what number 1 is, let's recap this countdown because that's what most other countdown makers on YouTube, don't they? Number 7, the Purple Frenzy. Number 6, the Blue Cube. Number 5, the Yellow Drill. Number 4, the Cyan Laser. Number 3, the Orange Rocket. And number 2, the Pink Spikes. Alright, let's finish this countdown once and for all. Number 1! Okay, Rockin' Top, the Cyan Laser, the Orange Rocket, and the Pink Spikes. Well, I think the answer is pretty obvious by now. The Green Hover. Where do I even begin with this wisp? How about I start with the fact that green is my favorite color, which usually means that this masterpiece of a wisp is my favorite color ever. But that's not the best part of the Green Hover. The best part is what it does. You will first use this wisp in the 5th act of the Starlight Carnival. When you get it, you can fly into the air. It's like flying with tails, but slower. This wisp is accompanied with a catchy but relaxing music piece. You might want to listen to it because it might make your ears melt. You can even do a curvy version of the Ring Dash, which I thought should be part of Sonic's natural moveset. I mean, yeah, the flight speed is slow. I can lose all of my rings if I get hit by something or not. And the ring dash doesn't work all the time, but do any of these flaws matter in my opinion? Answer, no, of course not. Why? Because flying has never been this relaxing in a 3D Sonic game before. I mean, granted, the majority of this game is 2D, but I digress. The green hover is, without a doubt, the best Sonic Colors Wii Wisp in my opinion, taking the top spot on my list. Alright guys, and that's it for my first ever countdown. If your opinions are different than mine, then make your own list of your top 7 favorite Sonic Colors Wii Wisps, either in the comments below or with a video response. Don't forget to rate, comment, like, subscribe, and favorite this video if you love it. I'm the Purple Mario, and why do we have to enter another Dark Age Sega? Why?